So it's been quite a while since I've done one of these. In all honesty, so this is gonna be stuff that I've gotten for Christmas as well as like the past month or so. Um, but yeah. Um, with that said, I hope you guys had a really good Christmas as well as a New Year's. I worked, unfortunately, both holidays, which sucked, but there's really nothing I could do. I had to. Well, not Christmas, no, not really, because we had a few rooms to do, but I still had to come into work because my general managers, well, the assistant manager said if they had to come into work, we had to come into work, which is pretty fucked up. But oh well. So start off with the stuff. I'm saving one thing for last because it's probably I think the coolest thing that I've bought so far. Well, one of the coolest things that I've bought so far. So I'm gonna start off with the movies. So I got these like close to the end of November, but yeah. First one we got is Rose Red. This was actually one of my mom's favorite movies. I've seen it maybe twice, so I don't really remember too much of it. This one I never seen. I had it, but never got a chance to watching it. It was Firestarter, and they made a sequel, which I had no idea that was a thing. Um, hmm, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. So this is gonna shock a lot of you, but I never watched Terminator until like oh my god, I would say like hmm, two or so years ago. Yeah, around like two to 3 years ago, I finally watched Terminator 1 and 2 because the only one I had watched at that time was Resistance. No, I'm sorry, not Resistance, Salvation. Resistance is the game. Terminator Salvation was the only one that I've seen, and it was okay. Really wasn't crazy on it, but it was alright. I have now since watched 1 and 2, and I like them. They're great. So I have the third movie sitting over there. I haven't watched it yet. So, uh, next one is Tomb Raider. I haven't seen it. I've seen the Angelina Jolie ones, but I don't know about that one. Um, Next one is Uncharted. Now, I was very like iffy with this one because I wasn't sure if it was going to be good or bad. But having seen the movie, I actually like it. So, and the last one is Batman Returns. So I still haven't watched the original Batman movies. I've only seen. I hate to admit this. I've only seen Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. The two worst ones were the ones that I watched growing up. So yeah. So I have not watched the first Batman, nor have I seen Batman Returns. Um, I want to get the first one so I could watch the first one first, of course, and then watch this one. But I'm holding off on Batman Returns solely for that reason. Um, Now these I actually just got recently. So um, random fun fact is when I was a kid, I was very, very obsessed with The Indian in the Cupboard. It was like one of my favorite movies growing up. I watched it religiously, almost as much as I watched Toy Story, and I watched Toy Story a shit ton. Like to the point where my mom had to buy multiple copies of the VHS because I burned the tape out. And I think she told me she had to buy Toy Story four to five times, which is insane. Because that should tell you how much I watched the movie growing up. So when I was younger, I they had released like a little set of figures for the movie, and I remember buying a copy of the VHS tape that included the Indian and the little key. So and I found out that they had like the whole set, and I wanted it for the longest time. I had it before, lost it in storage on like a few years ago. But I have recently rebought them again. So I do have all of them. But you have the cowboy, of course, and the the medic who helps in the movie, and of course the Indian as well as the key. So yeah, really expensive. That set alone was like $50. Other sellers were selling them for like $75 to $100, which is fucking insane. But yeah, so I'll show you guys the Funkos, because these Funkos were a Christmas present from my sister. Now, another thing about me is growing up, I was really, really into Goosebumps as a kid. I had all of the books. I had a lot of the VHS tapes. I had a lot of like stuff, um, school stuff, toys, a whole bunch of shit surrounding Goosebumps because I was really, really into it as a kid. I had the original 62 books. Um, Never read them, which is insane. Never read them, but I had them. um, I also had what was it? A few of the Series 2000 books and some of the Give Yourself Goosebumps books as well, but never read them. I just had them because I liked them. I think it was mainly because of the covers. That's why I was like really into them, but never ever like really sat down and read them. Um, I did at the time when I had the books. I did start reading them slowly but surely, mainly the Series 2000 ones. Um, and yeah, I a lot of them were hit and miss, but most of them miss. There were some that were pretty good, but overall the series is just like, I mean, they're for kids, so it's to be expected. But so fast forward a few like years, and Funko decided to make a set of Goosebumps Funkos. Now they they picked some interesting ones. One I completely understood, but the others, well, two of them actually, I understand, but the other ones were just kind of like odd. But so yeah, so the first one is Bad Hair Day. Show you what it looks like. And what's cool is they actually have the cover of the book as well. So there you go, bastard. So this is what the original artwork looked like. Um, this is the 2003 re-release cover. Like the artwork is still the same. It's just this, everything else here, it's all from like the re-release. But yeah, and here he is. He's actually in the hat, which I actually kind of like that. Um, my sister wants this one because she's doing like a rabbit theme for her house, and yeah, I'm like, why? The rabbit's ugly, ugly ass fucking rabbit. But I like it. It was cool that they picked this one. Let me just put this back. There we go. The next one is Night of the Living Dummy. I mean, this was kind of like, okay, makes sense. And here is the artwork for the book. The original artist who did the covers was Tim Jacobus. He did 60 of the books because there were 62 in the original series. Two covers he did not do. They were from completely different artists. I really don't know why. I never knew the reason, but I'm sure it probably might have been because he was doing like other stuff. But there he is in all of his glory. Pretty cool. I like it a lot. The ones that he didn't do, in the original run, he ironically did the covers for them. It was, oh my god, well, holy shit, what were the books? Be Careful What You Wish For and Stay Out of the Basement. So when the books were reprinted in 2003, 2004, he did those covers for those books that he didn't do in the initial run. So that was pretty interesting that they had him do those covers. And third one is Attack of the Mutant. Come on, bastard. So here's the cover art for the book. And here is the mutant himself. Now, I was going to say, he actually comes with a little stand, which is in here. But I think he could actually stand on his own. Like, perfectly fine, I think. Let's find out. Yeah. Sort of. Yeah. Yeah, he can stand fine. Kind of weird to give him a stand. But. Alright. Now, I personally saved my favorite one for last. Of course. Let me just put him back in. And what's interesting is they actually use the original cover, like the initial release, like the 90s release for this one. And it is The Haunted Mask. I was obsessed with this book when I was younger. I still am. It's like my favorite one out of the series. But this is what the original art looked like the original font and everything. This is what it looked like back in the 90s. So the ones that I've been showing you now were like the 3 releases in like 2003, like I said. But I was very obsessed with this one. And there is a chase variant for this one, and it's a glow in the dark one. So yeah, there it is. I love it. It's obviously it's my favorite one. And what's crazy is I didn't know this, but a company called Trick or Treat Studios, they make like masks and stuff. So they made the show version of the Haunted Mask. Like, oh my god, when? Like a few years back, I think. Trying to figure out when exactly it was. It was quite a while, like 2018, I think, like either 2018 or 2019, one of the two. But they ended up redoing, or not redoing, they made new masks. One of them I think was Curly, which was like the Goosebumps mascot, and they had a mask for him, and then they had a mask for Haunted Mask. So the original one was like the movie, or not the movie, the show version. Now the one that they made now is the one that's this. So I found it at the exchange because I was like, "What the hell is that?" And as I was walking up, like, "No, that's not." And sure enough, it was. But yeah, I bought it as well. It was like $38 worth of purchase, I think. Really cool. That's not the cool thing. The cooler thing I have is gonna be the very last. So, but yeah, those are the Funkos. Now are the games. Just put them in order of the console because why not? Excuse me. So games that I got. I'll do the digital games. Fuck it. So I bought like a bunch of digital games like recently. So the ones that I've recently gotten were Amanda the Adventurer, which is a horror game. Go figure. Um, this one I kind of recently got, like, but it's been past like December and stuff. But I figured I would just show it or mention it. Chasing Static. I think Jacksepticeye played through this, and I remember watching the playthrough. It looked pretty good, and yeah, it's actually a pretty good game. Um, Evil God Corone, which ironically is a VTuber. She's a Hololive VTuber, and they created this game for her specifically for her birthday. And if I remember correctly, I think she actually streamed it on her birthday. I ended up getting Goosebumps the game, which is a kind of like a point and click game, very similar to like Broken Sword, I guess. That's probably the best way that I can describe it. Um, Midnight Remastered. Never heard of it. It was a really cheap game. It's kind of like Slender, except you're not being chased by Slender Man. You're in a house, and you have to find 7 letters, which are the like 7 deadly sins, and you're supposed to repent for the sins that you did, or some shit like that. But the thing is that if you die and you're like halfway into it, you have to restart over, which is kind of annoying. But it's not bad. It was a cheap game, so I got my money's worth. The other ones are Poppy Playtime chapters 2 and 3. I had the first chapter, beat it really short. But chapters 2 and 3 are a lot longer, thankfully. I like them. They're good. They're very good. I'm excited for chapter 4 whenever that comes out. Um, Next is Rage of the Dragons Neo. Now, originally it was just simply called Rage of the Dragons, and this is a fighting game and a really fucking good one. I discovered it through just like gameplay, just watching like playthroughs and stuff on YouTube, and I was like, wow, this looks like a really good fighting game. And if I remember correctly, it was released on PS2 only in Japan, so never got a chance to experience it here. Kind of like that one fighting game, Power Instinct Metro Melee. I think it's called Metro Melee or some shit. And it looks really good. Just never had a chance to play it. But yeah, I have Rage of the Dragons Neo. This one came out. When did this one come out? Let me see. 7. Oh wow. Holy fuck. Okay. So I've had this for quite a bit of. No. This was a relatively recent game that I purchased. It was as SNK versus Capcom, SVC Chaos. Always wanted to play it. It was only on Xbox. I wasn't gonna buy an entire Xbox just to play that one game. So I never played it, unfortunately. I think it was on PS2 in Japan. So again, kind of a bummer, but I mean, it was released here in the States, just not on a console that I had. Next is the Outlast Trials. A friend of mine wanted me to play this game with him, like a lot, so I bought it, and I have not played it since. I've played it. I played it maybe like once with him. Then I kind of like tried to play it again, but internet was just acting really stupid. It was acting like a massive bitch, so couldn't play it. So kind of sucks, but I mean, I guess you can say I also got like the Sinking City as well, but these games were like pretty a while ago. The Coma 2 Vicious Sisters, it was like a collector, like a special deluxe edition, which had like all the DLC available for like $5, which is not bad. The Sinking City, I've heard it was a really great game, but something happened. I think the game kind of had controversy. I don't remember what it was. I think it might have had something to do with like physical copies of the game. I don't remember. I know like the game had some like issue. I just don't know what though. Or I think it might have been the developer. The developer like I don't. Oh my god, bro. I don't remember. I just remember hearing about like some controversy with the Sinking City, but I don't remember what it was exactly. The next games are Suganohi. I actually streamed this one last night. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this one. It's a really simplistic ass horror game. A lot of jump scares, and all you literally do is just press left. That's it. That's all you do. And advanced text. So yeah, I got Suganohi and Suganohi Supernatural Supermarket. Fuck me, that title. Um, uh, I guess I gotta mention it. Virtual Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown. I got that too. And Zombie. Um, Zombie U, but it was released on the PlayStation Store as simply Zombie. So, but yeah, those were some of the digital games. Now into the physical stuff. So, I also got Tekken. I was looking for it, but could not find a greatest hits copy because Tekken 2 and 3 are greatest hits. And where is it? Ah, here we go. Set it back down over here. these two were relatively recent-ish, so figured I would just show them. It's Siphon Filter the Omega Strain and Siphon Filter Dark Mirror. I haven't played these yet. I need to get around to playing them though, but there you go. The Shield. I started watching the show. I watched, I think, maybe like 3 episodes. Not bad. It's not a bad show. It lasted quite a while. Yeah, the game's kind of shit. It's not really that great. Taito Legends. I have the second one and Power Up on PSP. So this was the only one I needed, and I found it for like $8, which is not bad. Now, next one is The Getaway. Now, this copy was brand new factory sealed. And I mean OG factory sealed with the security seal on top that said Getaway and had the PlayStation logo. And I committed gaming sin and I opened it. It was $15, but still, like, I could have kept the sealed, but I chose not to because I was going to play it regardless. But yeah. Alright. Now PS4. So we got Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. They could have just simply called it Marvel vs. Capcom, but whatever. Yeah, it even came with a little comic book, which is awesome. I read it. It was pretty good. Shovel Knight. I never played Shovel Knight. I've heard about it, and I've heard a lot of people say it's a really, really great game. I don't know if this code is redeemed. I'm not going to show it for that reason. But, yeah. And it even included a manual, which games nowadays don't do. So, and yeah, and I love the fact that it's like in color. Just to kind of give you an example. But yeah. I did play a tad bit of it, and so far it's been pretty cool. I like it a lot. It's really, really cool. Castlevania Anniversary Collection. I had this and the next game that I'm going to show digitally, but I'm an absolute slut for physical games, so I ended up purchasing a physical copy. And this is, I guess you can say technically a manual, but it talks about like the Castlevania stuff. Yeah, it's a great collection. I like it. The next one is Contra Anniversary Collection. This one has 10 games, and of course it has the manual talking about the history of Contra and stuff. But yeah, pretty good as well. Believe it or not, I never played Contra until I got the Konami compilation that was on the DS. That one had the first Contra. That was the first time I ever played it. I never played it on the NES because I know that's how a lot of people played it, but I didn't. I played the arcade version that was on a compilation on the DS. So, yeah, crazy. Same thing with Castlevania. I never played the original Castlevania until I got the Anniversary Collection digitally, like years ago. So, yeah, pretty nuts. And for PS5, we got Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I just recently bought the deluxe upgrade, which included like a whole bunch of DLC, which, well, not a whole bunch, but yeah, this is what it is right here. But that's what the DLC is supposed to be. And it also included the Mask of Darkness DLC, which I have not played. I mean, I just started playing this like a few days ago, so yeah. I was anticipating this game for a long time. Ever since the trailer dropped, I think, when was it? It was like a video game awards. I think it might have been the video game awards. But yeah, I have been kind of following the game. It's Black Myth Wukong. And this is pretty cool because the physical version, I don't know if the other versions are like this, but the physical version gave you a code which unlocked extra content, which is awesome. I love that. And it's interesting because normally, you know, games now are like $70, but this was like 65. So it's $5 less, but still it counts. And lastly for the games is Alone in the Dark. I've been dying to play this. I've wanted to play it like on my own time, but I did promise that I wasn't going to play the game until I finished streaming Yakuza, and I'm sticking to that. Even though I really want to play this game, I'm not touching it at all. So I have it installed, I just haven't played it. And I'm not going to until I finish Yakuza. That way, when I do play it, it's my genuine reactions. So, all right. So I just recently, this was recent, but it's not often that I'm gonna talk about it. So I was like, let me just show it here. But I just recently found a FX lightsaber, and it's Obi Wan Kenobi. This is from 2006 Master Replicas, and it does still work. See, which is awesome. It was like $70 that I paid for it, which isn't. I don't think it's bad because this lightsaber specifically goes for like 130 on eBay. So originally it was like 80. I'm like, can you do 70? So, but yeah, ended up getting it for $70, which is awesome. It's just sitting there. It's not really doing much, but like I've always wanted to get one for the longest time, and yeah, I got one, so I'm happy with it. But yeah, that's kind of it. There really wasn't much. I'm gonna be buying a whole bunch of shit uh, this next paycheck. But yeah, that was pretty much everything that I got for Christmas, as well as a couple months prior and stuff. Nothing really too extravagant. But yeah, thanks to everyone that stopped by, and I will see you guys in a few because I will be starting Yakuza Zero as soon as I finish. But yeah, I will be seeing you guys in a few.